ferry, or I'm not too sure exactly what it's called. But, you need an ABN number and a few things to get in there. And I think that type of gravy is what a lot of fish and chip joints use as well.
Oh, that's the secret. So the good gravy powder.
Absolutely.
All right, Neil. Good on you, mate. Thanks for that.
Much.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye. All right, let's head to New Zealand. Across the ditch, Selwyn Manning from livenews.co.nz. G'day, Selwyn.
Yeah, g'day, Peter.
You must be able to give us some good chip recipes.
Yeah, the old fish and chips. I'll try and put a slight Australian twang on the chips part and see if I get away with it,
Feel
Peter.
free.
How did it sound? Did it sound Kiwi or did it sound Australian?
You sound like an Aussie.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll slip up back to my dreaded ways in a minute. But yeah, no, the fish and chips with gravy. I was kind of thinking, that and it doesn't often go, but like when you do a roast chicken or something like that, and the stuffing, with the breadcrumbs and a bit of an egg in it, some onion and sage and just about any fresh herb that's around, and it gives the gravy at the end of it, with the cooking of the juice and things, when you, at the end of it, and you tip a bit of the fat off, and then that just comes through so good.
Beautiful, yeah. Well, you got the roast chicken and chips. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, exactly. Apart from the roast potatoes to the side, I suppose, you do a batch of chips and have a good... Well, see, I slipped into the Kiwi one then. Now people do know I'm across the ditch, don't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into business. Politics first up. Now, your government is going through a bit of cost cutting, as ours has as well, closing the Stockholm Embassy.
Yeah, this was expected, really. I mean, there were leaked cabinet papers, classified documents that got into the hands of Labour spokesperson for Foreign Affairs, Phil Goff, a little over a week ago, and I think we mentioned it on your program, Peter. And it's been confirmed yesterday that the New Zealand Embassy in Stockholm will be closed. Now, that embassy was established by the Labour government back in 2008, just prior to the elections then, when the Nationals actually won later. Now, when the Nationals came in, they scaled down those North European ones, like the Stockholm Embassy, trimmed it back. Now they've announced they're going to close it. That's got a few people kind of scratching their heads, because the momentum was that New Zealand needed allies on the fringe of the EU and the Eurozone, and often in the UN, as Australia does. They'll form a bloc with those Scandinavian countries on certain issues, social democratic type of issues and things like that at the United Nations, and many saw it as a very significant strategic post up there for New Zealand, but it's gone. It's a part of a total cuts package where the New Zealand government, the Nationals, they want 24 million New Zealand dollars taken off the Foreign Affairs budget. This is a part of it. It's not all of it. They're also going to be scaling down the New Zealand embassies in The Hague. And also others are going to be trimmed. For example, the embassy in Paris is expected to have to sell some of the land that the New Zealand government owns up there. The same goes for the London embassy. So this is widespread. The details of it, the official details, beyond the leaked document that we all got a little over a week ago, are expected to be announced today. And Foreign Affairs people or New Zealand diplomats will know, okay, who's going to remain with a job and who's going to be kicked out. The government is trimming. At first it said it was going to trim 304 jobs off a total of 2,000 diplomatic and foreign affairs jobs. It's under pressure from the public. It's trimmed that back to 146, Peter. So there's still a lot of people to lose their positions.
What's it going to mean for relationships with Sweden plus those other nations there? Without the embassy there, will it affect relationships, do you think, or is there any concern that it could?
Yes, there's concerns, and the Foreign Affairs Minister, Murray McCully, has said, well, we've got a very good relationship with Sweden, and kind of shrugged the shoulders type of thing and dismissed any concerns there. But certainly if you haven't, got the the interest to actually invest in having some sort of a post in a particular country. That the signal to that country is it's irrelevant to your overall scheme of things. New Zealand's foreign affairs policy, even amongst diplomatic circles, is difficult for it to define at the moment. With diplomatic contacts that we speak to in the course of our job, most recently, one of them said to me, how do you really define where New Zealand is going strategically with its foreign policy? It's trade-led, but beyond that, it's hard to pick up a particular thing apart from slashing and burning the costs. I suppose it's the culture that we're in at the moment, this risk-averse culture that's right through the business sector, understandably, in the economics, and New Zealand is trying to actually get to balance the books by 2014, 2015. But many are kind of concerned, Peter, that, and this is a concern that's repeated from different people time and time again, that when you start tampering with your potential for earning money, meaning, with your posts overseas trying to actually identify the right markets, then you're on a road for a real hiding as far as your fiscal balances are concerned. At the same time, the New Zealand government has indicated that it will be investing more money in the Asian postings, like in China, for example. Beijing will get an upgrade. So that you can see where it's putting a lot of its emphasis.
Are there many expat Kiwis in Sweden, and would this closure of the embassy affect them?
Yeah, there's a significant number up there. I haven't got the numbers in front of me, but certainly there is. Even one of my nieces actually lives up there and has got a young family. Yeah, quite common for Kiwis, just like Australians. We certainly dot all over the place, and many people down here, they can trace their lineage back to the North European countries. So there is a sense of a connection there. But the part of these cuts too, and you've kind of hit on this to a degree too, Peter, that is to replace a lot of the support staff at these missions, whether or not they are New Zealanders or employed by the country where the posting is located, to cut those job numbers and to replace it with a call centre, not necessarily in New Zealand. And that's raised a lot of eyebrows. If you're overseas, you've had your passport nicked or something like that, you go to ring the embassy for some assistance, or you need some assistance because you've come, fallen into hard, some sort of accident, or et cetera, and there's no one there to help you. And what do? You ring a phone number that goes to a call centre, and from the point of view of if your internet connection or your telephone goes down, sometimes you sit on that call centre number for ages before you get some help. Yeah. And then have you got the right person with the right interest to actually do the job for you? All of these things are starting to cause concerns. And the other thing is New Zealand's brand. How can New Zealand kind of peddle its brand, whatever that may be, if it's the clean green kind of image that the country tries to put overseas, or its ability to export quality goods. If there isn't the numbers on the ground to actually sell that message, how is that message in a competitive world market going to actually make a difference?
Yeah, good point.
So, yeah.
The brand at the moment might be very cold. With how's the weather down the South Island? You got snow already.
Yeah, snow started snowing yesterday in significant proportions, and it's been followed up with an expected series of the next 3 days of absolutely fine weather. So if you picture brand new snow with pristine white, crystal on top with the frosty kind of night, that's what you've got down in Queenstown and those mountains all around there. Totally picturesque. At the moment, it's sitting around 3 degrees Celsius, and it's expected to go up. So it's heading into what could be a beautiful ski season. Yeah. And remember, that from many Australian destinations, there are direct flights from Australia to Queenstown. And that's the most picturesque part of the country. Yeah. So I think I should be paid by the tourism board for that.
I think you're doing a great job of that, yeah. So how much
put it down to free national pride.
Exactly. How much has fallen? I did see, about 13 centimetres somewhere at Coronet Peak?
Yeah. Okay. It was, a very, very good early snowfall. So that's how we understand it up here. And up in the Auckland area, well, I know last year we got excited and tried to convince you, Peter, that we had snow here. Right. Some people down south said, "Come on,
You're dreaming."
You're dreaming, but at the moment, we're sitting there. It's taken certainly a turn for the more chilly period in the cycle, and Yeah, very strong storms. There was a small tornado yesterday over in Tauranga, which is on the eastern coast, not far from Auckland, about an hour and a half south. So it's turning into that time of year, for sure.
Right. Well, time to start thinking about packing the ski gear and jumping on a plane, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Selwyn. Thanks for that, mate. We'll talk to you again next week.
Okay, Peter.
Cheers.
Take care.
Selwyn Manning, and he's in New Zealand. You can read more, head to livenews.co.nz. Anne Stone's got news, sport and weather next.
I can do it.
At Minda, we maximise real employment opportunities.